So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our Trading Every Player rebuild series, and today it's going to be the Miami Heat. You guys have heard this spiel many times, but just in case you are not familiar with how these videos work, it is as simple as it sounds. Basically, before year one kicks off, we are going to trade away every single player that is currently a member of the Miami Heat. Of course, while trading these players away, my eyes will be closed. I will have no say in the deals whatsoever. And of course, the end goal by the time this video wraps up year three is to win a championship. And a couple things before we do get into this video. First and foremost, let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comments section. We have been on a good pace of kind of bouncing back and forth between the Curry era rebuilds, the Trading Every Player rebuilds, and mixing in some challenges, which I very much look forward to doing very soon. And then second, I missed a video yesterday. I missed an upload date, if you will. I apologize. Work ran late. Didn't have time to record. My bad. So, good to be back. Happy Friday to all of you. Excited for this one today. Let's get into it. Okay, so the Jimmy Butler era in Miami is obviously going to come to an end at our hands right now. Let's go ahead and start just ripping away some trades. Of course, not really a point in discussing this actual roster because none of these players will be here. So Jimmy Butler, 87 overall. Wow, that's actually a little lower than I thought he would be, but 35 years old, has been a very good player for a very long time, and unfortunately, he is going to have to find himself a new home here today. So we're going to scroll through all 21 of these trades. Of course, as you can see, the eyes are closed, and we will stop right about now. And it is going to be Desmond Bane and Jake LaRavia from the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, oh my God, I actually would have lost it if we got that one. That would have been just as bad. All right, I guess I got to kind of count my blessings because considering some of these trade offers, I guess Desmond Bane is certainly not as bad as a lot of these other ones. I mean, PG would have been really fun, but yeah, I guess I can live with Desmond Bane because there were a lot of really bad deals there. So next up going to be Bam Adebayo, who, again, I say this every single time I either get or, use Bam in one of these videos. It's weird to say as a Celtics fan, but he's actually one of my favorite players in the league. I still don't think he gets nearly enough credit for how good he is, but of course, got to trade him away here today. We'll scroll through all of these trade offers until we land on hopefully a pretty good one. Of course, we don't have any say in that, unfortunately, but right about now feels good. And it is RJ Barrett and Jakob Poeltl here from the Toronto Raptors for Bam Adebayo and Alec Burks. So that is deal number 2, trading away Bam and Jimmy for, Desmond Bane, RJ Barrett. Certainly not my favorite moves in the world, but I guess we got to be kind of lucky considering, they're both pretty good NBA players, and a lot of the other deals were worse. So, Tyler Hero, you are up next, my friend. We're going to stop right now, and instead of this one, we're going to go one to the left this time. Oh, boy. Yusuf Nurkic and Grayson Allen, or it would have been Hartenstein and Topic. I get Hartenstein a decent amount, so you know what? I can live with this. Again, it's not my favorite deal in the world. I actually haven't really enjoyed any of these trades we've made so far, but kind of just is what it is at this point. I'm going to do Scary Terry and Jaime Jaquez in the same deal. Jaquez is obviously going to boost the value a little bit, and he's making rookie scale contract money, so makes a little bit of sense for me here, and right now feels good. D'Lo Hachimura. This is disgusting. I don't want to do this. It's just not great. Okay. This team is, it's coming together. That is for sure. All right, Duncan Robinson, we'll do him and Kevin Love up next. We're just going to probably double up on the majority of these going forward, considering not every player individually is going to have a ton of value. So see what we can get. And right now, it is going to be Luke Kennard and a first-round pick, our second deal so far with Memphis. Again, not really that great. We'll do Jovic and Highsmith together, two of the power forwards with this group. We have 28 different trade offers. We will scroll through all of them, and hopefully, please be good. We haven't had a great one so far. Stop right now, one to the right, if you will. Derek Jones Jr. and Kobe Brown, or it would have been Luke Cornett and Jaden Springer. Honestly, I'll take DJJ. I am a Celtics fan, as you're all probably aware, and I am so fucking sick of Luke Cornett, even in 2K. Okay, we have pretty much cleared out the majority of the guys that were already on this team. I think after Larson, Khalil Ware is here as well. Do I have? No, nothing. All right, we'll do Khalil Ware by himself. We'll do Richardson and Larson right now and just hope we're able to get something decent enough. But after that, Ware will be our final deal before we kick off year one. So right now feels good. And it is Jalen Noel, JRE from the New Orleans Pelicans. And then our final deal, I believe anyways, let me just make sure I'm not missing anybody here. I believe it's just going to be Khalil Ware. Kobe Brown, no, he's not on the Heat right now. But yeah, we don't trade the two-way players, obviously. So Khalil Ware, 16 trade offers. I think he's going to be a very good player for the Miami Heat. And unfortunately, he's going to be the final guy we move in today's video. So stop. And it is Nikola Topic. I can't trade. It has to be a 1-for-1. Stop. Has to be a 1-for-1. All right. I just want to make, are there any 1-for-1s? No, not really. All right, so I don't want to have to include somebody else, but considering there's no other trade offers and I'm out of other players to include and kind of pair up with Khalil Ware, I have to take one of these. So we'll stop right about now. It's going to be Gary Trent Jr., Bobby Portis. Honestly, not the worst deal in the world. If I could have traded Ware with somebody else, if there was a player left, I would have done it, but unfortunately, there's not. So kind of breaks the rule a little bit, but it's also not really my fault. So, of course, that rule is that I cannot make any other trades after we trade away the entire team, at least before we get to the first offseason. So right now, this is what we're working with. I'm going to have to do a little bit of math and a little bit of configuration to move some positions around, and I'll see you guys at the rotation. Okay, we are ready to kick off the first season here in Miami. I'm going to be honest with you fine people, it is not looking great. Now, we actually do have some pretty good depth. I don't want to sit here and tell you it's the worst team of all time, because that's just not going to be true. But we lost a lot of the star power, a lot of the defensive presence that this team did have, and yeah, I'm nervous, just to be straight up honest with you. So here's how things kind of shook out. Starting five, probably not a lot of surprises. D'Angelo Russell, Desmond Bane, RJ Barrett, Bobby Portis, and Jakob Poeltl. I think that is a perfectly fine starting five. Just in terms of, I guess, fit. It's not anything too crazy. There, again, not a lot of star power. Hopefully it can score enough points. Now, the bench unit's okay. Rui Hachimura going to be my sixth man here. Nurkic going to be backing up Poeltl. You got Gary Trent Jr. playing the backup small forward spot. Grayson Allen playing the backup shooting guard spot. And Jalen Noel rounding it out at the backup point guard. So, unfortunately, like Luke Kennard, just not really going to have any minutes on this team. Certainly is good enough to be in an NBA rotation, but I do not need three shooting guards. So, of course, we do have Eric Spoelstra, so anything could happen. Now, something else to note before we kick off year one, if you guys are aware and have watched this series so far, I do not turn off previously traded draft picks. So, every pick the Miami Heat have ever traded, in the future in real life is going to be with those respective teams. Our first round pick this year is currently owned by the Oklahoma City Thunder. However, it is lottery protected. So if we suck, we're going to have our pick. I'm not saying we will, just kind of a little bit of an insurance policy. That being said, I'm not really sure what to expect. So I will see you guys at the end of year one. Okay, first season here in Miami has come and gone. And let's just say I am thankful that our first round pick this year is lottery protected. 30-52. That is the record. Of course, not great. There's no way to mix that into something positive. It's just bad. And I'm going to very much look forward to trading away a decent amount of this team come the offseason. Now, Luka Doncic, he's your MVP. Reza Shea, Rookie of the Year. TJ McConnell got traded to the Lakers. God, TJ McConnell, I still think is just never gets enough credit for... I don't know if this is a term of endearment, but how much of a pain in the ass he is when he's facing your team. Wembanyama, your depoy. Cade Cunningham, most improved. Jaylen Brown, clutch player of the year and 65 wins. And Dallas gives Jason Kidd a coach of the year. Okay, it is a safe bet we're not in the playoffs or the play-in. Well, we were actually... Well, never mind. 32 wins. Wait, what? Okay. I'm going to take a quick pause because... unless something magically changed, between, real life and now, I didn't think that 5 teams made the play-in. So somebody's wrong here, 2K. Somebody has to have a tiebreaker. There's just no way you can let the powerhouse 32-win Raptors and the powerhouse 32-win Nets both into the play-in. I'm actually going to check just because I'm interested to see which one of those teams they did let in. But we're going to go over the numbers real quick for this team kind of across the board. Before we do, Desmond Bane, RJ Barrett, our 2 leading scorers. D'Angelo Russell was honestly not even that bad. I mean, 43% from the field. Like that to be, I guess, a tick higher. He was 35% from 3. Oh, Desmond Bane was fantastic from 3, 42%. Portis, Hachimura, Trent. I mean, the problem with this team, I would say, is there's just a lot of quality role players. There's not nearly enough star power, which is something we're certainly going to be looking for this offseason. Now, Poeltl led us in rebounds and D'Lo was assists. So who did they let in? It was the Nets. Okay, so I don't know why it marked the Raptors as a playing team because they certainly were not one. So let's just sim through these playoffs. I hope to be back in the playoffs next year. It would be very, very nice, but of course it is not guaranteed. Luka and the Mavericks, rematch against Tatum and the Celtics. Let's see what happens. Wow, Dallas sweeps this time. Okay, and Luka is your finals MVP. It is time for our first offseason, and offseason I am very happy is, here, and we can hopefully splash, make some big splashes, change some things, because Lord knows we need it. So we're currently projected to have the number 5 overall pick, and let's just hope that maybe the draft lottery gods want to be nice to me today. They do not. We fall to 7. All right. That sucks. Eric Spoelstra, in my opinion, is the best head coach in basketball. He is certainly going to be keeping his job. I don't care if we won 0 games. I'm not firing him. Let's head up to the draft. 7th overall pick is certainly, a nice asset, whether we're using it in a trade, moving up in the draft, keeping the pick, whatever it may be. I'll see you guys with what's next. Quite honestly, this deal was just too good to say no to. I do like drafting. I think Eric Spoelstra and, our coaching staff, if you will, would have done a fantastic job at developing whoever it is we did draft, but a 3-year rebuild at the 7th overall pick, probably not enough to get a really, really franchise-altering player. Now, Trae Young, 90 overall. Some reason, maybe because he's expiring, the Atlanta Hawks are willing to move him. So, RJ Barrett, number 7 overall, and Yusuf Nurkic going to be heading to Atlanta for Trae Young. And we also get a 24-year-old Onyeka Okongwu in return as well. So, this feels like a really good deal for us. It's nothing, wrong with RJ Barrett. He's a good player and probably could have kept him at our small forward spot the entire time, but Trae Young is a truly game-changing player, obviously gives us a little bit more scoring and a little bit more star power, so I'm very excited about that deal. I think it is one that is definitely going to benefit us for the remainder of this video. So no draft picks this year, that's cool with me. Bobby Portis going to decline his player option. We'll bring back LaRavia and Brown, because of course these could be trade assets. Josh Christopher, of course, we're not doing the actual two-way players because they are not actually supposed to be on this team. Okay, free agency. Couple names on this list, notably D'Angelo Russell, who I am not a huge fan of, but letting him walk out the door would be absolutely asinine, especially considering our cap situation and all those fun things. So, gonna also bring back Luke Kennard on a 2-year contract. And then finally, Mr. Bobby Portis, who wants a decent chunk of change, I'm not gonna lie to you, but we're gonna bring them all back, all 3 except Jalen Noel, Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Gary Trent Jr. is also one I'd love to be able to retain if possible. I don't think we're gonna have the funds to do so, though. No, it does not appear we will. Let me just check one more time. No, we cannot bring him back. All right, so Gary Trent Jr. is unfortunately gone, but getting Russell, Kennard, and Portis back was obviously kind of the bigger options for us. So let me just check one more time. Sometimes this game kind of tweaks out. No, not going to let me bring him back. All right, we are now going to be making some trades. Okay, so obviously we are not great right now. The Trae Young trade certainly helped a lot, but even with that, we don't have a lot of future assets to trade. We don't have a ton of star power. I think there's a possibility that we're going to have to make all of our big moves, if you will, next offseason. So I'm going to kind of prepare for that in advance. We're going to make a deal here with the Washington Wizards. We're going to pick up a 2027 first-round pick. It's unprotected. It is technically the year after this video ends draft, but that's fine by me. It is still a tradable asset in the future. So I have moved around some positions, and this is what it is going to be. We find a backup point guard behind Trae Young. It's going to be D'Angelo Russell and Grayson Allen, Luke Kennard and Desmond Bane, and then Bobby Portis Jr., Hachimura going to be my 2 power forward spots, and then I'm going to start Okongwu, and then Jakob Poeltl will now come off the bench. So yeah, I don't love it. I feel it's very, very mid, but I think at least we can maybe be back in the play-in or something like that. So the point guard options, as I kind of expected, are not necessarily great. I don't even really love any of these. So I guess Ty Jerome, we'll bring you in on a 2-year deal. Highest overall, decent age at 28. So, yep, this is what we were working with heading into our second season here in Miami. It is not going to be anything super special, but we are setting a foundation at least. Okay, year 2 here in Miami. We have obviously made a few different moves. We have Trae Young, which I certainly think is going to help. Now, shout out to 2K, because when I traded for Trae Young, he was 90 overall. What is he now? Look at your screen. He's an 88. Good work, 2K, because Trae Young is certainly, at the back end of his career. He should be going down 2 overalls in an offseason, especially after your average 31 points, 2 rebounds, and basically 10 assists a game, while shooting 45, basically 46% from 3. Great job. Fantastic piece of work we got here. D'Lo at the shooting guard spot scares the living shit out of me. This backcourt defensively scares the living shit out of me. Also have Desmond Bane, who's, 6'5" at the small forward spot, and then Portis and Okongwu in our front court. The bench unit's still pretty decent. You got Hachimura, Jakob Poeltl, Grayson Allen, Luke Kennard, and Ty Jerome rounding it out. So something else to note, I haven't checked the future protections on the draft pick that we obviously no longer have. According to 2K, it's just going to be unprotected. I highly doubt that's actually the case. So, if it's top 10 protected and somehow we suck enough where we're in the top 10, I will be taking that draft pick back. Got it? Good. All right, I will see you guys at the end of year number 2. So the second season here in Miami ended up being just a little bit better, maybe a lot better. 48-34 was the final record. I am, going to assume that is good enough for an actual playoff spot, and hopefully we can be somewhat competitive with this team. Now, Luka Doncic wins another MVP. Ace Bailey, Rookie of the Year in Utah. Thompson, 6th man. Wemby, Depoy. Bones Highland, Most Improved. Paolo Banchero, Clutch Player of the Year, and 63-19 there in Dallas. Gives a second straight Coach of the Year to J. Kidd. All right, well, we're a 4 seed here. I guess that just kind of shows you the state of the East and truly how dreadful this conference is. And then here's a look at the Powerhouse West. Okay, here are the numbers. Trae Young, pretty good for us. Desmond Bane, really solid season. D'Angelo Russell, Bobby Portis, Hachimura, Okongwu, Kennard, Poeltl, Allen, and then Jerome. Rebounds led by Okongwu. Assists going to be Trae Young, double digits. All right, we're in the playoffs. It is us and the Miami Heat here in round 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at their team. Us and the Miami Heat. Us and the Detroit Pistons. Good work, numbnuts. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivies, R. Thompson, Tobias Harris, Naz Reid, Tyus Jones, Marcus Sasser, Stewart. All right, so they're a pretty deep team. Trey versus Cade would be a pretty fun matchup through a playoff series, but I don't know which way this is going to go. I really don't. So we're down 3-2. We went up 2-0, then lost 3 straight. Win game 6. Can we win game 7 on our home floor? We cannot. It is one and done for us in the playoffs. Disappointing ending. Anthony Edwards against Tyrese Halliburton. Actually, I want to do something real quick. I want to check our playoff stats. Excuse me. Oh, not the second round. We didn't get there. Trae Young, fantastic. Desmond Bane certainly fell off a little bit. D'Lo, yeah. There's just not enough. And I'm really hoping, oh my God, does this game love Anthony Edwards or what? I'm really hoping that we have enough this offseason to truly put together some sort of real contender. And, just trying to really boost this team. Because Lord knows we need it. So, draft lottery, I think it's a safe bet that we're not going to actually supposed to have our draft pick, which is totally fine by me. I can live with it. Here's the lottery. Magic. Wow, that's via the Sun. Wow, the Suns were bad enough. The Knicks via the Wizards. Okay, we have the Wizards pick next season, so that is going to be a valuable trade asset, to say the least. Now, let's approach the draft. We are not going to have our own first. I don't think we traded for any other first, so fuck it. Why not? Maybe whoever we draft there will be I guess, steal and maybe Chuck Samuels. Interesting. Cliff Garnett, Alan Bernard, Donald Humphreys, Dylan Hughes. I don't know. I guess Chuck Sam. Funny name. Where is he from? Arizona State? Okay. Let's sim through this. He's going to be a 70 overall. I mean, I guess that's better than the value of an actual second-round pick. Who knows? Pirtle accepts, not a big surprise. We'll bring back Coleman Hawkins, I guess. And then, obviously, Trae Young going to be priority number 1 this offseason. So, there's no doubt we're going to need a lot of work here with this team. I mean, there's just no way to spin this into anything crazy right now. We're not good, and, we're not even close to winning a championship. So, let me get to work. Oh my God, how the hell did that go through? Okay, well, we made a deal with the Houston Rockets. I know some of you say I get Şengün a decent amount, and maybe you're not wrong, but it has been a decent while since I have traded for him, and honestly, he's not too hard to trade for whatever reason, and I gotta kind of take what I can get. So, Pirtle, Portis, Chuck fucking Samuels, and Coleman Hawkins sent to Houston for Alperen Şengün. There was nothing wrong with Okongwu, and maybe he'll stay as a backup, maybe he's a trade piece, but certainly a nice upgrade at that 5 spot. Another trade here that I know people are probably not going to love, but this one is almost too good to say no to. Now, D'Angelo Russell and Grayson Allen are not 2 of my favorite players in the world, and I don't really think either of them has been good enough to the point where I should keep them heading into a championship or bust season. Now, the 2 first-round draft picks, I guess, kind of sucks to give up. Not the end of the world, but Grayson Allen making $18 million at this point is just ridiculous. So, Keontae George, Lowry Markkanen here from the Utah Jazz. Yes, I promise I will take a break from getting Markkanen after this video, but that was one of those that kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone because we're going to move Keontae George to the shooting guard spot, and I think that really completes this starting 5 in pretty much the best way possible. So we do want to add some bench pieces to this team. There is no doubt about that. I'm perfectly fine hanging on to Okongwu and Hachimura as some backup big men for us, but like Luke Kennard, who I know is just damn well going to regress, Ty Jerome, who's just probably not even good enough, I think both need to be moved as well. So if I combine these 2 along with this Wizards pick that I think will be pretty valuable, it's actually only 2 stars, what could I work with in terms of like backup, like 1, 2, maybe even 3? Deuce McBride sitting here. It's kind of a hefty price to pay, but I might do it. Nickeil Alexander-Walker as well, Jalen Williams. I think Deuce McBride is worth it. I do, because I can play him at the backup 1. I can play him at the backup 2. We also get Dottier in return. That's fine. 2 first-round picks is hefty, and if it wasn't going into year 3, I would probably change my mind on that one. But honestly, I'll let Dottier run the backup 3. I mean, he's going to go up probably to a 75-ish overall, and it's probably better than what we're going to get in free agency. So let's just see. Who are the backup or potential guards here in free agency that I could maybe sign? These names are... well, they suck, to be honest with you. Monte Morris, I guess, could go after Bogdanovich, but at 33, that regression is going to hit crazy. So we'll sign Lindy Waters. Could be a good backup shooting guard spot for us, and I'll just move Deuce McBride to the backup 1. So, yeah, I guess that kind of sorts itself out a little bit. I mean, we've certainly improved this team. There's no doubt about that, but I'm still kind of nervous, to be completely honest with you all. So here goes nothing. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 3. First of all, I want to talk about how stupid this game can be at times. I'm not kidding you. If I auto-set this rotation, which I'm not going to do because I just spent time crafting the starting lineup and the bench exactly the way I want it, if I auto-set this, guess who's starting? It's fucking Deuce McBride over Trae Young, who, by the way, continues to go down in the overall department. I mean, let's just give a big hand to the developers that have been working on this game for probably about 12 minutes, because that's what it probably took. And for some reason, over the years and years I've been playing this game, cannot fix the fucking regression issues. It drives me fucking crazy. It is so insane that we are still dealing with this in the year 2024 on 2K25. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's get into year 3. Trae Young, Keontae George, Desmond Bane, Lauri Markkanen, Alperen Şengün. Of course, a lot of new faces in this starting 5. It felt very, very necessary. And that is about as good as we could have done considering the assets we had. So I'll take it. Bench unit will be led by Deuce McBride, who this game does want in the starting lineup. Not going to happen. Got a Kongwu behind him. Rui Hachimura still. Lindy Waters III. And I cannot pronounce this guy's name for the life of me. Pacome Dadie. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's probably not even close. I suck with names. So yeah, it would feel like kind of a fever dream if we were somehow able to actually get a championship with this group. I never want to completely rule us out of anything, especially when you do have one of the GOATs here in Eric Spoelstra, but we haven't been out of the first round yet, so I'm a little nervous. See you guys at the end of the final regular season. I'm still not thrilled with the state of this team. It was another improvement in terms of the year prior at 53 and 29, whatever the fuck it was. We won 53 games, but nonetheless, this just isn't really one of the God squads that I've built so far, and I guess that kind of just describes the way we kicked this one off, and I guess that's why these can be hard. Luka, 3rd straight MVP. Debance, the Rookie of the Year, also wins 6th man. Wemby wins deep. By the way, has a guy ever won Rookie of the... I'm curious, like if any of you know this off the top of your head, because I'm trying to think of one. Has a guy ever won Rookie of the Year, like coming off the bench the majority of his games? Not actually won 6th man of the year. Just like, has he ever won Rookie of the Year consistently coming off the bench? Like more than half the games come off the bench. I don't know. Wemby, another deep boy. Hugo Gonzalez, most improved. Cade Cunningham, Rick Carlisle. So are we one of the top seeds here in the East? I hope we are. We're actually the 2 seed, which I guess is a good thing. The Pacers are also kind of OP in this game, so maybe we will run into them in the East Finals if we were to get there. Getting very ahead of myself, though. Here are the numbers. Desmond Bane leading this team in scoring. Trae Young, Şengün, George, Markkanen, Okongwu, McBride, Hachimura, Waters, and Dadie. Rebounds led by Şengün. Assists going to be Trae Young. So, yeah, I'm nervous. I mean, we haven't won a playoff series yet, and the Cavaliers are not the team I wanted to start with. Why? I mean, why? And they got Colin Sexton back. Former Cavalier, of course, within the Donovan Mitchell trade in the first place. All right, split the first 2 on our home floor. Do win game 3. Do win game 4. Okay, that's not bad. I'll take it. We move on to Toronto, who actually, and their teams actually end up kind of coming together well. Well, I didn't think they'd have Cooper Flagg. They brought back Pascal Siakam. Okay, how did I not know? Oh, I didn't check the Pacers team yet. Interesting. Well, here goes nothing. Split the first 2. Do win game 3 and game 4. And we're in the East Finals. We are in the East Finals. All right, this is gone surprisingly well. Okay. Now, I do not want this to be another road. Oh, fuck. I forgot I traded Bam to the Pacers. Wait, did I trade Bam to the... What did I get for Bam? I don't think it was with the Pacers. Honestly, I have no fucking idea. Let's just go through this. I don't know if we're going to win. I don't think we're better than them. So, well, up 2-1. Okay. Okay. So far, we have won every single series in 5 games, which is shocking. I'll just say that. And here come the Thunder, who are probably about as low as it can be on my list in terms of the teams I would have wanted to have faced in the finals. So, can we get this one done? Can we pull it off? Split the first 2. Oh, boy. Okay. Okay. And as we head back to Oklahoma City here for Game 6. Okay, we're coming out like this. Don't fuck with me. Come on. The Miami Heat are pretty damn good at comebacks. Come on. Look at that third quarter. We're going to be getting this done. This is by far one of the more shocking championships in this series so far. Wow. I'm not going to lie to you fine people. I did not see this one coming. You know, I'm always going to hold out hope that we're going to win a championship in pretty much every rebuild I do, but sometimes I like to try to be, a little bit realistic with myself and kind of just look over the moves that I've made, see if I could have done anything better, just like kind of mentally. This was kind of one of those videos I was thinking, there were certain times I could have made maybe something different just in terms of the trades, but we're going to end up winning a championship. And Trae Young has 10 points. I think Desmond Bane had like 9. Not really sure who's doing the scoring here for us because we have 115 points. That's a terrible defensive play by me. But yeah, this one was shocking. It really was. And, I'm not really sure what we could talk about right here. To be completely honest with you, I guess we can talk about the actual state of the Miami Heat. I'm just not really sure what to think about them. I mean, that's a terrible release. They're never fully going to be ruled out as a team that can, make some noise in the playoffs just because we've seen it, time in and time out. They are pretty much get the fucking basketball. They're always going to be one of those teams that's just like a pain in the ass to eliminate. Pretty much no matter who is, hurt, whoever's in the rotation, out of the rotation, they're always going to be really, really, tough and tricky, I guess is the right word. So I'm not saying we're at the point where you got to break up the Heat, but I'm pretty sure Jimmy Butler is going to be a free agent this offseason. And if they don't give him, what he's probably going to ask for, it's not going to probably be a pretty, next couple of seasons there in Miami. So I'm not really sure what to think about this team in real life. Of course, not the one in the game, but I think just the team, the culture that they have is obviously one of the strongest, if not the strongest in all of basketball. So I'm not worried about it. Miami's obviously, a big place that guys want to play. So they're always going to get a big name, whether it's in free agency or something like that. And I understand all the, the missed trade opportunities that they've had over like the past 3-ish seasons, but I would not worry about the Miami Heat. They just don't give me the vibes of a franchise that's going to be at the bottom of the barrel like some of these other just dog shit organizations. So I think we're at the point of this video where we're going to be capping this one off. We are officially under 2 minutes. I am going to try to run a quick pick and roll here with Mr. Şengün. Trae Young is going to go right up, get the layup to go. Şengün gets the board. This one's over. I don't want to downplay this team like we were, hot ass or anything like that, but it just didn't really feel like the whole time. Really? Okay. It just didn't really feel like throughout, the rebuild. Like, I didn't get championship kind of vibes with this team. And again, I see the overalls and I see the depth and I see the talent that we do have with this group, but some of these other teams that I've put together have been legitimate god squads, and I haven't even sniffed a conference finals at times. So I know it doesn't happen often, and neither does teams like this, but this one kind of came together really quickly in our final offseason, and obviously ended up capping it off in a good way. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comment section. We have been enjoying these so far, so fun one. Definitely was. So that's it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.